Welcome to the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Sports Hub podcast presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics and Lake Sumter State College. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola. Thanks for joining us today. Well, 2024 has brought us so many memorable stories. We've talked to some really cool people on the Sports Hub program. People like Leesburg High School's wrestling Josh Boyer, who was a three-time champion coach this year. They won 3 state champions this season. We also had the Leesburg Lightning win the championship this year. It's been a heck of a season. Even had Beacon College on with us talking about neurodiversity in sports. And that was a really cool talking point as well. We're going to take you back to some of the favorite highlights of 2024, and we'll roll that now. Hey, welcome back to the Sports Hub podcast. I'm Kyle Coppola. Thanks for joining us. I'm joined right now by Jordan Simpson, who's one of the seniors on the Leesburg High School weightlifting girls team, who won a state championship. Really exciting for you. Jordan, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Jordan, what a season it was for you all. You go out as a state championship in both the Olympic and traditional class. What did that feel like to become the first ever girls team in Leesburg history to accomplish winning a state championship?
It was a really nice way to spend my senior year. Honestly, my first year of weightlifting, which was my sophomore year, if you would have told me I would have been here or even winning a state championship with the team, I'd been like, yeah, you're crazy. So it was a weird feeling. Like, we had thought about it all season.
Yeah.
Like picturing it, but it was way different that day.
Way different when you come in there and then you actually put those medals around your neck. I mean, that must have been such an amazing feeling. Do you remember the first time you stepped into, I asked this question to Mia, do you remember the first time you stepped into the weight room?
I was a freshman. I used to be a swimmer, so I joined the weightlifting team for strength and conditioning, and I was super scared, and all the girls were stronger than me, so I ended up quitting. And then I came back my sophomore year, and I was like, no, I want to do this, and I did it, and now we're here.
She's not a quitter, coach, and she came back. She wanted to be a part of the program, and she comes in, and through hard work, she was able to be part of a state championship team. That's something that she'll take with her the rest of her life. Can you talk about Jordan Simpson and what she meant to the team?
Well, Jordan fit in right as soon as she came on board. This is actually her first year with us.
Wow.
And she was at the Villages previous 2 years. Mm-hmm. And her parents are absolutely fantastic. You know her parents. Yeah. And she was a great fit from the jump. She came in. The kids already knew her. They kind of all know each other in this area, you know. And I wanted to get a feel for her personality. So I think one of the first things I tried to do was make her smile, crack like some joke or something, and just see where she was at and gauge her that way. And then we started moving the bar, and then she got a feel for how we do things and fit right in. I mean, she couldn't have been a better fit for us.
So you were able to see what Leesburg was obviously doing as well. You were with the Villages for a little bit, and obviously came over to Leesburg. And what made Leesburg so attractive to you? You come over, and it was just I feel like what Coach Boyer has built at Leesburg has just been such an amazing ride the last couple of years. To see this program truly flourish, it must have been such an amazing thing to be a part of.
Honestly, it's like, not that other people in the state are fans, but being a part of a different team, we'd always looked up to Leesburg, and we were excited to go to tournaments that they were at. It's like, oh, imagine being part of that team. And then beginning of senior year, it's like, I can make this happen. So I did it with my parents, and I was like, I'm part of the team.
What is the what's the best part about the season this year? Obviously, winning the state championship was probably the top. But as far as you personally, what was your favorite part of the season?
The team dynamic that we have between not just the girls, but the girls and the boys working together. It wasn't their season. Now it is, but we're still all training together. It was way different from what I was used to before, but I like it.
Yeah, and you came over and you made quite an impact because you finished third in the Olympic for the state championship, and you finished sixth in the traditional for the Olympic state championship. Coach, that was kind of icing on the cake for you guys to put her through with third and sixth place. She actually had a pretty big impact as far as having you guys win the state championship.
Yeah, we kind of had our eyes on the state championship since last year's state championship. And we knew we had the pieces in place, and we knew we could score the points that we were going to score. We felt very confident going in, especially with the Mia change in weight classes, that we were going to score big points in the 101s and the unlimiteds. And we knew Kayla Nord was going to score points for us in the 29s. We knew Justice was going to score points for us. So we had the points in place, we had the plan in place, we had the vision in place, and we talked about it, and we weren't scared of it. The girls weren't scared of it. That pressure, which I did get a little worried leading up to state. I thought I saw the pressure get to them a little bit, but then once we got to state, they handled it absolutely beautiful. Like I said, when they walked up to get the first trophy, they moved and walked like state champions, right? The entire day, everything they did was locked in. Every movement, everything was as if they've been there before. Yeah. And we've been to state every year. You know, we've had really good teams, but this one was different. And there was a lot of lessons that I shared with them from past teams, past experiences, and things like that. Like, I really thought we were going to win in 2019, and we ended up losing that one by 1 point. So all the points truly matter, you know, and her points were icing on the cake. You know, we knew what we had coming into the season. We were very, very confident that we were going to win it, and she just
elevated you guys to just sort of the next level. And obviously you guys were at states, but you were able to win the state championship this year, which is just fantastic for Leesburg High School. What are you going to take with you as you graduate from Leesburg High School from the weightlifting sort of team? What can you take with you in life?
In life, honestly, having fun. Like, so training doesn't always have to be so serious, and we have a way that we train every day, and we know what we need to do, but laughing sometimes too. There are certain parts in the season, and we just put on music, and if we start laughing, this is like, okay. And
team camaraderie is so important.
It's one of my secrets, to be honest. Every day I try to get them to smile, laugh, something along those lines, because, as she said, when they look back and reflect, they're going to remember a lot of moments where we had fun, where we laughed, where we were locked in when we needed to be locked in. We got work done when we needed to get work done. But if they correlate that hard work with the smiles and the laughs and the memories, then they don't shy away from hard work.
What are some of the greatest things that you've learned from Coach Boyer?
For me personally, like, I don't know. He's helped me stay disciplined. So, like, if I'm not motivated, say, like, my discipline will take over. Yeah. And I know, like, I'm showing up every single day. I don't think, other than being out of town, I don't think I missed a single training session that I haven't made up here. So it's going to get done. The work's going to get done, and then you'll see the results in the end, which we did.
And that's so cool, because you graduate these girls with those philosophies in mind, and they go off and they do great things in their life, and whether it be their career or if they continue weightlifting in college, wherever it be, that must make you feel really good that you have had such an impact on so many people's lives.
Yeah, it's a delayed reward because they won't realize everything that they've kind of gathered and learned over these years until they're into their adult life, you know? And then when I run into them 5-10 years down the road and they're living their lives, that reunion is always met with, you know, I appreciate, thank you, things along those lines. So it's a deferred payment, you know.
One final question I have for you, Jordan, is for your advice for younger lifters who are coming up through the program. What is your advice to them?
If you're not going to show up for yourself that day, show up for everyone else. And I don't know if that really makes sense.
No, it does. It does. And I think Coach Boyer can add to that.
Yeah, because it is a team sport, you know, and it's a collection of individuals doing their job in their particular weight class for the whole. And that's one of the secrets to scoring enough points to win a state championship, you know. Like I mentioned earlier, we knew we were going to score 12 in the 101s. We knew we were going to score big in the unlimiteds, and we knew we were going to sprinkle in throughout the middleweight classes. And if everybody does their job, the team is successful, you know. So even on the days where maybe someone doesn't feel motivated, you still have an obligation and responsibility to your team.
Absolutely. I want to thank both of you for coming on. It's been so refreshing to talk to you guys, and congratulations on the state championship. It's just so great to see that the first girls weightlifting championship state winning team was able to do that, especially for Leesburg, being the first girls team ever to win a state championship at Leesburg High School. Congratulations, and thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
Don't go away. More highlights from the 2024 Sports Hub season are up next.
Is pain or restricted range of motion keeping you on the sidelines? Get back in the game with expert orthopedic care from UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics provides robotic-assisted surgical joint repairs and replacements, post-operative care, and inpatient rehabilitation services, all close to home, right here in Lake and Sumter counties. And for those unexpected injuries, UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics offers convenient walk-in and same-day appointments. To learn more or to schedule an appointment with one of their specialists, call 352-323-5665.
Well, we are back here on the Sports Hub podcast. We're going to take you back to more memorable moments that have happened here in 2024 on the Sports Hub. We have the Leesburg Lightning with us. We got Coach Rich Billings along with Team President Tyler Brandenburg on with us as well. We'll be talking to some players later on. Colin Priest and Tanner Walker with us as well. Guys, welcome to the program. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. In unison. So it's very exciting this year. You guys are coming off of course, the championship last year. You come into 2024 and you guys are having one heck of a season. I'll start off with Coach. Coach, can you tell us sort of how your season's going so far?
Yeah, we are 15-10. We are in first place right now. I think we're tied for first with Winter Garden, but we are starting to figure some stuff out and playing well when it really matters. So it's been an exciting season so far, and I think it'll be an exciting finish.
Well, it's been an exciting few years for you. You obviously now in your 10th year coaching here at Leesburg. Explain to us, you've seen a lot of change the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, Pat Thomas, the stadium renovations over there, the team, the camaraderie, not only that, but the fans as well.
Yeah.
I think Leesburg is one of the top places to play for these collegiate summer league players.
Yeah, no doubt. It's been an awesome experience. And I always, people ask me how long am I going to do it? And my answer is usually, well, I'll do it until I don't love it anymore. And right now I still love it. So I love Leesburg. I love the Lightning. My family loves the Lightning. The players that I get to coach are awesome. Not only are they great players, but they're really good kids too. And so that makes it all worth it. It's because it's a lot of nights away from home. And so when you get a chance to be around good people, you learn. I'm also a college coach, and so I learn a lot from the players that come from other college programs. I learn a lot from their coaches as well. So it's a really neat experience, and it's something I'm really blessed to get to do.
Yeah, you're not just the coach for the Leesburg Lightning. You coach Lake Sumter State College, and that program has grown by leaps and bounds as well. Talk about the work you're doing over there.
Yeah, coming off a really good year. We won 26 games. It's been a long time since we've won that many games. We were nationally ranked for a couple of weeks in the spring, and so we're definitely headed in the right direction. We've got great leadership and just hired a new athletic director, Patrick McNeil, who is doing a fantastic job. We're really lucky to have him as well. Yeah,
Patrick, we had him on the program just a couple of weeks ago. Really exciting what's going over there at Lake Sumter State College. Want to bring in Tyler. Tyler, you've been around since the beginning of this program, and you're the team president. You've seen this program grow over the summer. What is the benefit of having a program like this in the area?
It's just so much fun to do, Kyle. This is year 18 for us. City's been really supportive since the beginning. We obviously couldn't do it without them. You touched on the renovations that they've made to the stadium the last couple of years that have just been a total game changer for us. But Leesburg's just such a good place for baseball. Rich minor league history back in the 60s and 70s, and just trying to revive that and use Pat Thomas more than just as a high school field, get more year-round play out of it. So the Lightning's been a heck of a journey. Started back in 2007 by my dad and a few others. and have just had the opportunity to watch it grow over the years, and just excited to still be a part of it and play a small part in making it successful.
What's been your favorite part? I mean, obviously the championship last year was a lot of fun to be a part of, to see you guys be able to win that. What's been the best part about working for the Lightning?
It's been the players over the years, no doubt. Coach has done such a fantastic job putting together a roster of high-quality ball players, but also high-quality men. And just watching them come through, become a part of our community. We've had a lot of local talent the last several years. That's been cool to see, to give them an opportunity to play high-quality collegiate baseball back at home, but also bring others in that aren't familiar with Leesburg or Central Florida, really, and show them what this community has to offer. Our host family program has been incredible since the beginning. So just the relationships that these players have made with host families, and just staying in touch with them, and just seeing them be successful has just been such a privilege to be a part of.
I'm from the New England area, so we have what's called the Cape Cod Baseball League up there. So, I'm used to this type of summer league and seeing these kids develop. What's been the most rewarding part about seeing these kids? I mean, a lot of these kids are Division I college athletes that come down here. You've coached some players that have wound up in the minor leagues, MLB even. What is the most beneficial part about this league?
For the players, it's just an opportunity for them to get reps. We get a lot of players that maybe redshirted the previous year. Maybe they didn't get as many reps. They didn't get as many at bats. Maybe they didn't get as many innings on the mound as they wanted to get. And so this gives them an opportunity to do that, and to go back to their 4-year schools, or even their 2-year schools. We get a lot of junior college guys as well, and to be more of an impact guy, to improve over the summer. And that's what it's really all about, is getting them the opportunity to get better.
Yeah. Tyler, you've seen a lot of guys come through the program, get better. Do you have any really good stories about anybody through the years that has really benefited from the Leesburg Lightning program?
I think a great one's our fan favorite now, Gabe Santiago. This is year 3 with Gabe, and Gabe's always been just a high energy, really solid ball player since day one. He brings it every single night, and the fans recognize that. So as he comes back every single year, just seeing that fandom of Gabe continue to grow, and just the way that he is really bought into Leesburg, and Leesburg has bought into him. He's a darn good ball player, and a really good ambassador for this program. And guys like that, I mean, there's countless guys like that have come through, but recently, Gabe would certainly be the top of that list.
You also sent a couple of guys to the All-Star game, the Florida Collegiate Summer League All-Star game that got rained out a couple of nights, but eventually they were able to get it in. Talk about the importance of that, and getting these guys on a big stage like that, being invited to an All-Star game. We had Colin Priest that took part in the Home Run Derby. Let's talk about a little bit of that.
Yeah, it was a great night. When we finally did get it in, we had to move it over to Stetson, which is a great place to play. A little tough on the home run derby because it's just a big ballpark, so there weren't a ton of home runs hit. I think 2 won it for each round. So, but it was a lot of fun getting to see Colin, and Orlando Pena also competed in that. Those are our home run leaders this summer. I think Orlando's got 4 and Colin's got 3. So that was really fun to watch them. Colin's dad threw to him in the home run derby, so that was really special. And then getting to see all of our players compete in the All-Star game after that was awesome too. Just to get them for them to get a chance to go out there and just do what they do, and to not have to worry about, I gotta execute here, or I gotta get a bunt down, or I gotta steal a base. That pressure's off, and there's just it's a chance for them to just go and play the game and have some fun. So it was really cool as a coach to get to witness that for our guys.
And we have a lot of a couple of guys that are local as well. We're going to be talking to some of those guys later on. We got Colin Priest from Mount Dora Christian Academy, graduate about 2 years ago, and then of course we're going to be talking with Tanner Walker, who's a graduate of Eustis High School. So it's really cool, I think, to see some of the local guys come back, whether they're at college or wherever they're at, to come back, and then you see a lot of fanfare with them as well. I think that's really a unique thing.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody knows Colin, from his success in high school. And then, obviously had a really good year his freshman year at Michigan and is on his way to Clemson now. And so everybody's followed that really closely. But even guys like Tanner Walker. Tanner was a member of our Lightning team a couple years ago. And, to see the improvement that he's made, not just on the mound, but he's gained a little personality over the last couple years as well. And that's something that I've really enjoyed. I've gotten to know him a little bit. And, a lot of these guys bring a lot of different characteristics to the team, but personality is one of the most fun things that I think they provide for our ball club. So, it's awesome to get to see those guys and to get to know them a little better.
Has there been a player that has come through that has just blown you away? Like, you've been doing this for 10 years. I mean, there's players on the squad right now, and you've been around a while. Is there any player that stands out compared to the rest of them?
Yeah, we had an outfielder that played with us for a little bit back in 2020, I think it was. His name was Von Brown from Florida Southern, and he played for us up until the draft because he got drafted in the 10th round by the Giants. Mm-hmm. And he might be the best player that I've ever coached. He was an outfielder, and I mean, he was a 5-tool player. He could run, he could throw, he hit for power, he hit for average, and just one of the most humble kids you will ever meet in your life. He's still playing. He's in Double-A right now with the Giants, so he's doing really, really well.
I think that's one of the coolest things is that guys come through the program and you're able to see guys develop and eventually, hopefully one day, make it to the MLB. One of the great things about Leesburg, too, is the fans that come out and support, definitely during the championship, the playoffs, just the entire season, the amount of support that you get. And I think that's due to letting the fans basically in for free. And they come around with a bucket during the game. Of course, they appreciate any generosity, of course, but I think that that's a really good way to get people into Pat Thomas Stadium.
Yeah, it's been the intentions day one. Our founders were big on that, and the league was big on that, and it's still big on that, on being family-friendly entertainment all summer long. So between our partnership with the city of Leesburg, local sponsors and businesses and organizations help us out a great deal. You'll see their names on the outfield fence, and then the generosity of our fans make it so we can keep Leesburg baseball free. We're the only team in the league that doesn't charge admission. I get on the other teams in the league all the time like, hey, this is a great model. And they'll tell us, oh, we've got the fans for it and the community. And yeah, we've got a great community for Leesburg. But if you give fans a high quality product that they can access for free, that's not going to break the bank to bring their family to over the summer, people will show up. And the quality of baseball will speak for itself. And once they get in there and see it, they're hooked. So it's been a really successful model for us that allows us to be successful and keep it going. And we hope to keep doing that for a long time moving forward.
We're going to take a short break here on the Sports Hub. We'll be right back. Are you ready for your future to take flight? Whether you're graduating high school or looking to level up, Lake Sumter State College offers affordable degrees and certificates that will punch your ticket to success in a rewarding career. Plus, with programs like Direct Connect to UCF, your opportunities with LSSC are endless. So, what are you waiting for? Join us in Leesburg, Claremont, Sumterville, Four Corners, or online. Learn more at lssc.edu. Well, we are back here on the Sports Hub podcast. We're going to take you back to more memorable moments that have happened here in 2024 on the Sports Hub. I am here with the head coach of Beacon College, Sam Vincent. And Sam, thank you for coming on to the program today.
My pleasure, Kyle. Glad to be here.
Sam Vincent is a former NBA champion of the team of 1986 with the Boston Celtics, former first-round draft pick as well for the Boston Celtics. And you have a lot of history, of course, and you are the coach of Beacon College right here in Leesburg.
Yeah, well, like you said, Kyle, I've had a chance to be around the game of basketball for a long time. I've had a chance to play high school level, collegiate level, NBA level, international level. And now for about the last 20 years, I've been coaching. So did a lot of coaching overseas. My last 7 years was in the Middle East. Came back to the States in 2022 and was introduced to this project at Beacon College and wasn't sure where it was going to go, how long I would be here, but I can tell you it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of challenges, but positive challenges. Mm-hmm. And we've been able to recruit, bring in some exciting players, and we're off to a very good start this season.
Yeah, because last season, Beacon College, up until this year, it was kind of a club sport at Beacon College. And this year, you found yourself in a conference. Now, it was a little tough to start at first. Of course, you're basically in a startup program. But let us know how the season's going. You guys have a winning record right now.
Well, right now, like you said, we're 4-3. The first 3 games, there's a learning curve. The team last year was purely intramural. And it really wasn't so much about winning games. It was about developing players. And so our kids, at the end of the year, all improved in a lot of different areas, their work ethic, their communication, their discipline. So we took year 1 as a very positive year. But in year 2, we joined the USCAA conference, and we were able to go out and have a very exciting recruiting class of freshmen. We got a kid out of Georgia, Caleb Whitlock, and also in that freshman class is Ernesto Hitches. So we believe that with the freshmen that we were able to bring in, some of the senior classmen that we were able to add, along with a few of the returning players from that team, we have a great balance. The guys get along well. They play hard. And we're excited about the second semester, see how far we can go.
That's awesome. You guys got a lot of good things going on at Beacon College. And for those who don't know what Beacon College is all about, can you tell us a little bit about the school and the program?
Sure. So Beacon College is a 4-year accredited college institution that's primarily focused on students with learning differences. Those learning differences can be anywhere from ADD, ADHD, slight autism, slight dyslexia, but the focus is on high mobility students. So all of our students navigate the campus, they get around, they socialize, they have a great time. So I think a lot of times there's a little misperception in what the school is all about. And then once you get to the campus and you see the students and you spend time, you realize that Dr. Haggerty and the staff here are just doing an amazing job and really providing some real strong educational development for this population of students.
And for you personally, what does that mean to be part of a program like that?
Well, for me personally, I'm excited because, the journey of trying to get to somewhere in basketball, it's a different route for every player. Some can come straight through Division I, Duke and Michigan State or Michigan. And then some, for whether it's academic, learning challenges, whatever, have to take a different path. Might be an international reason why. So to be able to be in this space and to support these athletes who are trying to get to wherever their goals are but need to take a path through Beacon, I take that pretty serious. So we practice hard. Academically, I want to see them grow as young men. And then we want to make our schedule as competitive as possible so that now when teams watch us play, more recruits want to come. Yeah. But also coaches get a chance to see that our guys can really, really play the game. And for me, to be back home in Orlando and have this mission at this time, it's just really positive.
Yeah, and a lot of people might not know this either. You played with the first team for the Orlando Magic as well, one of the original Orlando Magic players sitting right here in front of us. You also have the opportunity to play alongside or coach alongside your son for the first time in your career, which is really got to be an exciting thing to do.
It is. There's a lot of dads out there that coach their kids in AAU games and maybe even high school. So every dad will understand the challenges of coaching your son. Sometimes you want to jump on them. Yeah. Sometimes you want to lay back. And so you're always trying to protect the relationship. But at the same time, as a coach, you have to wear the coach hat. So when you're doing something wrong, you got to let them know. So it's a little bit of a balance. But I think Jordique and I enjoy it. Before he came to Beacon, he was at Lourdes University in Ohio. Wasn't really playing as much as he would have liked to. His role was a little bit up and down. So I think this just is a situation where I understand his game a little bit more and can help him build his confidence to be able to go out, help the team, and support his teammates.
I think the great thing, too, about Beacon College is that you might have one or two kids with some neurodiverse stuff going on with some, whether it's D1, D2, D3, NAIA schools, but you have an entire team that maybe has a neuro issue in one spectrum. What is that like coaching? Is it different in any way, or is it the same for you?
You know what? I don't approach it any different way. So I don't try to make the practices any easier. What I do have to understand is that in my population of 15 players, there may be certain guys that understand certain things about the game more than others. So I'm always having to balance it out so that I'm not teaching something that these guys understand that my other 6 guys may not understand. So from that perspective, it's something that I have to always be aware of. But when you make the reference to the traditional schools that have maybe 1 or 2 kids that have a neurodiverse situation going on, we don't even really know if we can validate that, because maybe all 15 of those kids who have never been diagnosed have some neurodiversity going on. So if you look at some of the guys that have been successful in the NBA, like a Magic Johnson, who was diagnosed with dyslexia at 10 years old, there's a large population of guys that may have never been diagnosed, but be dealing with some sort of neurodiversity, but just don't know. So, and that's how I approach my team. Just like they're normal players like anybody else.
Yeah. In your career, have you ever sort of come up on a situation like that where you wish, maybe a player could have benefited from a school like Beacon College in the past?
Yes. Both coaching men and female. I've ran across players that I've realized academically maybe didn't pick up the plays as quick, or maybe you had to repeat it, several more times. And so I believe the beauty of Beacon is the teaching style that they use help bridge that gap. And then academically, the kids really, really benefit.
Yeah.
So I've seen some situations where kids could have benefited from this kind of situation, but I know there's going to be more. So as I'm traveling internationally, I'm always looking and talking to those clubs or federations who may have players who could benefit from what we offer at Beacon.
On the back of your shirt, you have you wear work ethic. Those 2 words are very important to you. What do they mean to you personally?
Well, work ethic to me means so that's one of what I call 9 championship principles. The other 8 championship principles are what I believe I learned growing up in Lansing, Michigan with Magic Johnson, and then being drafted to the Boston Celtics and playing with Larry Bird, and then, of course, ending up in Chicago. I think those 3 players, out of all of the history and even the future, are such unique players. And when you look at the amount of championship rings gathered by that group of guys, it's hard to really compare how anyone else prepares other than those 3. And so having had a chance to be around them, there's just very, very specific things that they do. And the one thing that I think really steps out is their work ethic, the amount of time that they put into developing their game. A lot of times young players think that they can just be talented and then achieve what they want to achieve. They don't realize that it's hours and hours and hours of hard work. Yeah. And that work ethic, to me, really resembles the most important of those championship principles.
Wow. And you're bringing that right to Leesburg, to Beacon College. Coach, we want to thank you for coming on the program. Well, we've had some amazing stories told in 2024 on the Sports Hub. Want to thank Lake Sumter State College and UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics for their continued support. We'll see you on the next edition of the Sports Hub podcast.
This has been the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.